Meet Dave. Dave Cornthwaite, 31, is a British adventurer, author, and motivational speaker with a series of record-breaking expeditions under his belt. His adventure career is encapsulated by Expedition 1000, a series of 25 separate journeys of at least 1,000 miles in distance, each using a different form of non-motorized transport. Dave hopes to reach his target of raising £1 million for charity by the time he finishes. On June 20th, 2011, Dave launched his Stand Up Paddleboard on a 2,400-mile source-to-sea descent on America's most iconic waterway, the Mississippi River. The length of the Mississippi River has not yet been paddled by Stand Up Paddleboard, so this expedition will stretch the boundaries of the sport. Dave's journey will also take him past the current distance record on an SUP, held by American Tom Jones, who paddled 1,507 miles from Florida to New York in 2010. Averaging more than 30 miles a day, Dave arrived at the cobblestones in downtown Memphis this afternoon, August 14th, escorted by 20 or more local paddlers inspired by his journey. Dave will be in Memphis for several days and has been urged by several to try some of our world-famous Memphis barbecue. At noon on Tuesday, August 16th, Dave will be sharing his experiences and discuss his record-breaking journey at Mud Island River Park. The SUP Mississippi Expedition is the fourth journey of Expedition 1000, and as Dave now focuses on the project full-time, he has plenty of other journeys in the pipeline, including paragliding across the Himalayas, rowing the Indian Ocean, crossing the Pacific in a pedal-powered boat, and skiing to the South Pole. Find out more about Dave and follow the SUP Mississippi Expedition at his official website, www.davecornthwaite.com.
I'm from England. I'm from London, England. I'm a long way from home, but it's much cheaper paddleboarding the Mississippi for 3 months than it is to rent an apartment in London for 1 month. So tell me who's crazy now. I used to be fairly depressed and quite a grumpy young lad, but now I do things that I want to do, and it's all for a good cause. So that keeps me motivated. I've never been bored ever since I started doing these adventures, and I once skateboarded across Australia, and let me tell you, that could have been boring. I love challenging myself in lots of different ways, physically and psychologically, and stand-up paddleboarding is a fairly new sport. It's one of the fastest growing sports in the world, but standing up for 2,400 miles seemed to me to be a bit of a challenge, and no one had ever done it before I started this journey, so I think it's been a challenge much worth it. And I don't mean to diss anybody who kayaks, but I will never ever sit in a kayak again. I've worked out my entire body and not left my legs alone this time round. I suppose I'm a bit of a vagrant, so I travel all over the world doing these journeys. I'm always looking for somewhere to settle eventually when I stop traveling. And one thing I have learned is that I love America, and I think I might just move here at some point. If anybody wants to follow the journey or donate to our charities, please go to my website at davecornthwaite.com or facebook.com/expedition1000. I'd just like to say a huge thanks today to Memphis Stand Up Paddle Rentals, Ghost River Rentals, Outdoor Incorporated, and the Wolf River Conservancy. They've been amazing. Huge amount of people out on the river. I couldn't be happier. This has made my journey.